According to H.R. 2349, and I quote, "The evidence for human-induced climate change is overwhelming and undeniable." In the Climate Change Education Act, it talks about how most people in the U.S. do not understand climate change and the effects that we, humans, have on the world. In this speech, I will explain the lack of knowledge about climate change in today's society and explain the solution to fix the problem. Over the past couple of months, I have been researching and learning about the Climate Change Education Act. Climate change and ways to educate the public about climate change. We all affect the climate in our own way, whether it is negative or positive. In order to save the environment, we need to teach people about what climate change is and things that we can do to start to fix the earth. Now that you know a little bit of background information, here is some more information about the need for society. Society has a real lack of knowledge at how much we, humans, affect the world. If we continue to live our lives the way that they are, we will not have much of Earth left. In the article Interfacing Indigenous Knowledge and Climate Change Education, written by Pasang Dharma Sherpa, and I quote, "Climate change has become a major concern worldwide due to rapid changes in average temperatures and their impacts on livelihoods of people resulting from melting of ice and snow cover, glacier lake outbursts, floods, landslides, sea level rise, and frequent changes in rainfall patterns. Most people in the U.S. do not know what climate change is, and there is a lack of resources to learn from." In the article, Filling a Gap in Climate Change Education and Scholarship, written by Glenn Water, he states, and I quote, "There is a lack of educational resources available, such as textbooks, research, and training opportunities, and syllabi, as well as a pipeline of new PhDs to serve as future faculty. In schools, teachers do not know how to teach kids about climate change." John Oversby states in his article, Teachers Learning About Climate Change Education, and I quote, "Many teachers are unprepared for the integration of action and content knowledge that characterizes climate change education. This problem can be solved by simply educating the public." The solution to this problem is to educate the general public. To educate the public, I would start small classes in this community for children and their families. In the classes, we will teach them about ideas like recycling, composting, and other ways that they can help to have a positive effect on the environment. We would also talk to them about what climate change is and how to fix it. Some may say that doing this small thing will not make a difference in the world, but the truth is that one change at a time makes a difference. Having discussed the plan to educate the public, you may be asking why this relates to you. Well, here's why. This problem relates to you because you are one of the 7.5 billion people living here on Earth that are affecting the climate. According to the U.S. Global Change Research Program in the article Climate Change in the United States, and I quote, "If warming continues, climate models project that wet areas will continue to get wetter and dry areas will get drier. The changes will include more frequent downpours, floods, droughts, and heat waves." According to the Earth Rights International in the article Climate Justice, They fight climate change by telling people about the risks of climate change, try to decrease investments in carbon companies, and fight alongside indigenous people who are protecting the Amazon rainforest. Now that you know how you are affecting the climate, here are some steps that you can take to make a change. In conclusion, you now know that you, as a human, have an impact on the climate, whether it has been positive or negative. But from here on out, it needs to be a positive one in order to ensure that we are protecting the earth. Think about your actions throughout the day and how they affect the climate. And if it isn't in a negative way, change your actions so that you can have a positive effect on the climate. We each need to do our part in this movement to save our planet for the generations to come.